Okay, so you will write only the first part. Now, here's the thing. Diddy's in deep trouble. And this new 50 Cent documentary on Netflix, Shawn Combs, The Reckoning, is just pouring gasoline on the fire. It's not just the allegations themselves, which, let's be honest, are already insane. It's the way 50 is presenting them.
He's not holding back anything.
And what's really grabbing everyone's attention is this leaked footage. Apparently, Diddy was filming himself in the days leading up to his arrest last September. I mean, who does that? It's like he thought he was starring in his own redemption story, but now that footage is in 50 Cent's hands, and it's being used against him. The clip shows Diddy, clearly stressed, talking to his lawyers. He's demanding the dirtiest people around him and complaining that his team isn't working together. It paints a picture of a guy who knows he's in trouble and is willing to do anything to get out of it. What's wild is how 50 Cent even got this footage. The documentary suggests it was delivered legally. Some people are speculating that someone close to Diddy, maybe even someone who was in that hotel room with him, leaked it for recognition, or maybe just to screw him over. Either way, it's a major betrayal, and it shows how isolated Diddy has become. No one wants to be associated with him right now. But the documentary goes way deeper than just this leaked video. 50 Cent digs into Diddy's entire life, starting with his childhood, and that's where things get really disturbing. They interview Tim Patterson, a childhood friend of Diddy's, and he paints a pretty messed up picture. Apparently, Diddy's father was a drug dealer who was killed when Diddy was young. After that, Diddy's mom, Janice, started throwing these wild parties at their house. Patterson claims these parties were totally inappropriate for a kid to be around. He even says Diddy lost his virginity at 12 because of what he was exposed to at those parties.
Now, I know what you
Toward Diddy, and that she was involved in some shady dealings herself. He even implies that her modeling agency was a front for something else entirely. It's a really disturbing picture, and it raises some serious questions about the role Janice played in shaping Diddy into the person he is today. Then there's this whole thing about Diddy's relationship with his mother. Gondal, who used to work security for Diddy, even says he suspects their relationship was inappropriate. He points to instances like Diddy kissing his mother on the lips and talking about her flexibility in a weirdly sexual way. It's all incredibly creepy and unsettling. Look, I don't want to jump to conclusions here, but the documentary presents a pretty compelling case that Janice was more than just a mother to Diddy. It suggests that she was a major influence on his life, and not in a good way. It's almost like she enabled his worst behavior and helped him cover it up. And if that's true, then she's just as culpable as he is. That's the really shocking part of this whole story. You know, it's not just about Diddy's alleged crimes. It's about the people who enabled him, the people who looked the other way, and the people who actively helped him get away with it for so long. And it sounds like his own mother was one of those people. And it's not just the mom stuff, right? The documentary also dives into Diddy's business dealings, and it's not a pretty picture. Apparently, he screwed over a lot of people on his way to the top. One of the guys interviewed, Kirk Burroughs, who co-founded Bad Boy with Diddy, claims he was forced out of the company and left basically homeless while Diddy was raking in millions. And get this, Burroughs alleges that Diddy intentionally kept his own name off the corporate paperwork to avoid liability for that deadly basketball game stampede back in '91. 9 people died, and Diddy allegedly didn't hire security. Dude was warned beforehand, too. It's just insane. You know that stampede thing? It's easy to forget about it. It happened so long ago, but the doc brings it back up, and it's a stark reminder that Diddy's always been willing to cut corners and put other people at risk to get what he wants. Then there's the whole thing with Tupac and Biggie. I mean, we've heard these rumors for years, right? That Diddy was somehow involved in their deaths. The documentary interviews detectives who worked on Tupac's case, and they claim there was overwhelming evidence that Diddy was involved, but nobody would talk. Everyone was too scared to snitch. It's the same old story, right? Diddy's got so much power and money that people are afraid to cross him. And get this, apparently Diddy forced Biggie to go to L.A., even though Biggie wanted to go to London. Then he forced him to stay in L.A. and go to that party where he was shot. After Biggie died, Diddy became the king of hip-hop. It's just a really dark narrative. Now they're saying Keef D, The dude who was finally charged with Tupac's murder claims Diddy offered him $1 million to kill Tupac and Suge Knight. But Keef D says he never got paid.
Can you believe it?
And the craziest part, the documentary, suggests that Diddy basically bought his way out of the Tupac and Biggie investigations. One of the jurors in Diddy's trial, Juror 160, comes off as a total fangirl. She even admits she didn't think Diddy was nodding at the jury. She just thought that was his normal nod because she watched him on Making the Band. I mean, come on. They even had a jury consultant for crying out loud, profiling jurors, figuring out who was going to be most sympathetic to Diddy. It's all so calculated and cynical. And the jurors? They're talking about Diddy and Cassie like they're two lovers. Even though there's video evidence of Diddy abusing her, it's like they're so starstruck that they can't see what's right in front of their faces. 50 Cent's really throwing punches here, man. He's not just rehashing old rumors. It's like the walls are finally closing in on him. All the secrets, all the lies, all the cover-ups, they're all starting to unravel. And it's all thanks to 50 Cent and this documentary. Whether you love him or hate him, you can't deny that 50 Cent knows how to stir the pot. And in this case, it looks like he's stirring up a whole lot of trouble for Diddy. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but it seems to me like Diddy's got a real problem on his hands. I mean, the feds are already investigating him for sex trafficking, and now this documentary is bringing up all sorts of other shady stuff from his past. It's like everything's coming out at once. And honestly, I think this is just the beginning. I bet there are a lot more people out there who have stories to tell about Diddy, people who were afraid to speak up before, but now they see that the tide is turning. They see that Diddy's losing his grip on power, and they're finally ready to come forward. Look, this whole thing is a mess. It's a mess for Diddy. It's a mess for his family. And it's a mess for the music industry. But it's also a chance for some real change, a chance to finally hold these powerful people accountable for their actions. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm tired of seeing these guys get away with everything. I'm tired of the cover-ups, the lies, and the abuse. It's time for a reckoning. And it looks like that reckoning is finally here for Shawn Combs. And it's not just about him, either. It's about the entire system that allowed him to thrive for so long. It's about the people who enabled him, the people who protected him, and the people who profited from his behavior. They all need to be held accountable too. This documentary, whether you believe it's a fair portrayal or not, has opened Pandora's box. The conversation is happening, and it's not going away anytime soon. Diddy can try to sue, he can try to silence people, but the truth is out there. And the more he tries to suppress it, the more people are going to want to know what he's hiding. It's a classic case of the Streisand effect. You know, the more you try to hide something, the more attention it gets. And in this case, the attention is definitely not on Diddy's side. So what's next? I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see more lawsuits, more investigations, and more people coming forward with their stories. This is far from over, and honestly, I'm glued to the screen. I want to see how this all plays out. I want to see if Diddy finally gets what he deserves. And I want to see if this whole thing leads to some real change in the music industry. Because let's be real, Diddy's not the only one who's been getting away with this kind of stuff. There are plenty of other powerful people out there who have been abusing their power for years. And maybe, just maybe, this whole Diddy situation will be a wake-up call for them. Maybe it will make them think twice about their behavior. Maybe it will make them realize that they're not above the law. But even if it doesn't, even if nothing changes, at least the truth is out there. At least people are talking about it. And that's a start. A start toward creating a better, more just world. And that's why I think this documentary is so important. It's not just about entertainment. It's about accountability. It's about justice. And it's about finally holding these powerful people responsible for their actions. So yeah, Diddy's in trouble. Big trouble. And I, for one, am not shedding any tears.